All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kakadash, double honors to apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the elect and the brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And I have a clip from, well, it's not even a clip, it's just a small little article or what of what a person said. Apparently, this is from YT News, I'm sorry, RT News, and apparently this is someone that just actually hates white people. So to go into it, it says this is the cost of talking to white people at all. Now, for the people that don't understand, for these people that say white people, we say Edomites because not all white people are white or Caucasian. You have some of them that still are the line or lineage of either Israelites or even possibly other heathens. But to go further in, it says the cost of your own life as they suck you dry. There are no good apples out there. I had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any white person that got in my way, burying their body and wiping my bloody hands as I walked away relatively guiltless, with a bounce in my step, like I did the world a favor. And to go, apparently, this is quoted from some psychiatrist named Dr. Arana, who was invited to go to Yale for the School of Medicine, who was I guess invited to give some type of lecture, really. And this was her. This was apparently her thoughts. And surprisingly, nobody ever claims this is some type of hate speech. They'll claim it's racist and all that. But when we say things, it's all of a sudden a hate speech, and we get our stuff flagged for anything and everything, except when it comes to getting on each other. So, but she's not wrong for feeling this when it comes to actual Edomites, because they do cost you your own life, as they do suck you dry of everything that you have. They'll supplant you and do anything they can to get over you. Meanwhile, they are helpful when it comes to doing what they need to do during their job. But again, you can't trust your enemy. You can't trust your enemy because they will find a way to get over you, as he does the rest of the world. As you can see, where he sets up his school systems, who's he putting there? Because he ain't putting a bunch of Edomites in there. When it comes to actual like ghetto schools, he's setting up black faces for black children, so-called black. And then the school education in that ghettos is literally nothing compared to what other countries give in that education, which they learn in young ages from what we learn in college or high school. Meanwhile, while he's setting up businesses or schools, he's setting up jails for us. He's setting up more plans how to take over other countries, how to set up other countries to attack each other, how to fund wars. The list goes on. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And this lady is mourning. She don't like any of these people. And we don't like any of them. As far as the Edomites, how we don't even like this society because of how messed up it is. Our way of living is screwed. How other people's way of living is screwed. I'm talking about like as far as other countries because of this place. Because of these elites, these rats that sets up everything. They just destroying everything and anything. And as much as our people say they love it here and they doing what they love doing what they doing, deep down in their spirit they don't feel happy. Why else do these people stress about paying bills and trying to make it into society? If you was doing good, you wouldn't need to make it in a society, which means you were struggling, which means you're still at the bottom of the totem pole. Sure, you can say you got other Jake out there that got businesses or are doing better than others. How many of them is it compared to the rest of the Jakes that's out here in these ghettos? Everybody's talking about how they want to make it and do what they do, what it got to do, or do what they want to do, and yet they still over here killing each other. Well, that's another life that was trying to do the same thing as as you was doing. Now it's gone. So these people's mindsets are screwed. Even so, no matter what these people think, they are actually still depressed as all outdoors. And they can't do nothing about it. Except for claiming the march and be with Black Lives Matter, which come to find out people killing each other in that shit. So nobody's happy in this society in all reality. This is Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And that's all Esau's ever done is try to plant his schemes into everything he could come across, even with the BLM. No different. What he does with these gangs, BGF, or these other black leaders. He's sending the smooth words to us to make us be more civilized in the society, and it's not working. But war was already. But like I said, the war was at his heart. He's just doing this so he can see us fall further. Because the more we can't do nothing, the more chaotic we become, the more hostile we become, the more we start acting like actual monkeys in the society. That's why you got Jig running around doing what the hell they're doing. Because again, Esau had his hand in the whole parents' household, as he does in daycare, as he does in the school, as he does in high school, as he does either in college or going to work. It's a revolving door that never ends. Because by the time you even get out of high school, no, let's backtrack. By the time you even get out of middle school, you're already screwed. By the time you get out of high school, you're more screwed. By the time you're in middle school, Esau's got Jake strung out doing weed or other drugs. How the hell did they manage to get their hands on it if the store itself don't allow you to buy weed or, for example, weed or any type of form of cigarettes unless you're over the age of 18? But yet these kids are getting it in their age of 8 or 9, 10, 11 on up. So that goes to show you something's not right in that scenario. They're getting it off of other people. They're getting it off of other adults. And yet this is supposed to be some God-fearing country. This is supposed to be the greatest place in the world where people just getting sick and died. Children smoking all sorts of crap. This place's hatred is very justified. But they'll say we're speaking hate speech. But they'll never say that she's speaking hate speech. They'll just say she's racist. But I wonder why. Can you really sit there and blame her after all the history that this place has? After all the things that this place has done? This is Proverbs 30:20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. And you got our people out here, our women, literally doing that. But this even equates to even Babylon itself, America itself. This place does all sorts of wicked things, even to other countries. And they say they're not saying they ain't even wrong about it. They'll set up embassies and all sorts of other shit. Just to say, we can do this and that if you do this for us. Meanwhile, Israel and Iran going at it. America's allies to both of them. Who does America choose? Israel. to help fund them. And they'll say they done no wickedness. Just like when they found out, when Iran found out that the Russian reporter was killed in 2018 and America had a hand in it, and they saying they done nothing wrong. Nobody's even questioning this. This article came up about not even a month ago, and no one's saying anything about it. No one's saying nothing. So we see the mindset of how everything works in this society. We see, even outside of it, we see what this whore is about, how his people act towards her, and it just always needs to go. When the time comes, when Yahushua comes back, he's going to destroy this place. Esau's going to receive his fate, and everything will be right. Everything is going to go back to, is going to go to how it should be. Whereas the Israelites are in power, and not these devils, as it was always meant to be. We're only doing this because we messed up, and right now we trying to seek our salvation. Because this devil has done more than enough not to the children of Israel, but to the entire earth itself. To the earth itself. I mean, just the earth in general. Like, what is just digging holes, draining the earth's blood? It's done. Esau's done way too much damage. He needs to pay for it. So that's all I wanted to go into with that. So with that, shalom.